Welcome everyone to the LNER special. This is the first big event of 2014. These first few shots of the first these first shots of the first two locos were filmed at the very back end of 2013. A few of you may have guessed which loco I'll be filming first in this. Yep, 4472. Again, of course, that you've seen recently in the 10th anniversary video. Again, I can't believe that's a year ago now. There will be another hopefully another GWR one later on this year. But now, of course, we move over to East Coast mainline territory. And now, even though I haven't got as many LNER locos as I do GWR, there is a fair few shown in this event. A few shots of each one. So yeah, Flying Scotsman has started this off really nicely. Again, I hope you enjoy the rest of this event. A lot of you out there now watching this toward the end of January 2014. I should say, I haven't really, in over 10 years I've owned Flying Scotsman, I haven't really had her pulling that many different trains, to be honest. Mostly just her LNER teak coaches, which are just under here. Well, mainly because, you know, she was my first locomotive, and you know, let's keep her original set with her original coaches. But yep, she's pulling sort of mixture here, made up of some very smart looking Eastern region stock. Yep, and of course I'd say the majority of locos in this are going to be in their own LNER liveries. You may have been thinking that the D49, the Berkeley, would be next, and yep, here she is, running beautifully. I'm pretty sure this model has traction ties fitted, which is helping with the traction a bit. You know, whoa, she can pull a long train like that pretty well. I'm pretty sure there is a very very thin traction tie on the first wheel there. Just on just on the first wheel's not too bad. Either that or she's got a lot more strength than I thought. It's good enough, it'll do. Again, I know of course traction ties aren't the most realistic, but at least, on a mod like this one, you know, they don't cause, power pickup issues like they do on Hornby single wheeler models. She really is a grand little loco, this one. Definitely a stunner. And she has Flying Scotsman's coaches in her train as well. Of course, one thing which gave me the idea of doing an LNER Festival, one thing was when I bought this loco just a few months back, into autumn of 2013, I then started counting up the amount of LNER locos I own. And of course, Mallard 75th, the Great Gathering. I did 2 videos of that as I visited them both, the summer one and the autumn one. I know both videos are pretty much the same, but still, a very special one-time only event, really. This last shot of the Berkeley, she's coming around now, going past Flying Scotsman parked up. We'll then enter 2014, and of course, again, I had to have, not only one more look, but one more film of the Great Gathering. It really was spectacular. We can now get some better shots in the light. Lighter shots since the weather's brightened up finally. Again, this is a shot from the 2nd of January. Now let's have a look at the Berkeley with the freight train. I've made up here a train which suits fits in with this event pretty well. Matches with the LNER locos. For example, the brake van coming up at the rear behind the tankers is an actual LNER one, which I got from the NYMR, North Yorkshire Moors Railway. She's pulling this train really well. Now a loco which we've seen, well, not too long ago, just back in summer of last year. Yep, the A1 60163 Tornado. Again, magnificent engine. You see, I think this was the first preserved railway I saw 60163 Tornado running on. First saw her at Gromont. Sadly, again, this was a few years ago. I didn't get that many shots of her because I think I just missed her when she before arriving back to Gromont from Pickering. Yeah, I think she'd gone along the main line to Battersby. And now with the freight, B16108 Kudu. Again, she's recently had a little bit of more work done, and even maybe not 100%. 100% fine now. I'd say it's gone up from about 80% to about 95% even. She's much better. I'm going to keep an eye on her, and at times, even if she still is running fine, I may just open her up and just well, check the inside again. I'm glad I'm now able to film her pulling a decent sized train now, especially in this special. She really is a superb loco, and I'm hoping that her much better, well, that her improvements and much better running lasts longer now. Well, there is more hope. Again, I'll keep a close eye on her. And now, yep, you know, LNER A4 Falcon. Apologies if you can hear a slight squeak. I think it's either the first or second coach. However, I did lubricate these. Well, the majority of them. Yep, just magnificent. Absolutely love this one. Always runs smoothly. Definitely have to show this on this year's 2014 calendar. We'll all remember that very well, won't we? We certainly will. This would not be complete without showing, well, at least one of the A4s on the calendar. Again, that's Bittern, looking grand in her LNER blue livery, again same as Falcon just then. This is 4464 and Falcon is 4484. She should have been there, to be honest. Well, you know, Falcon, you know, if she'd had survived today. The postcard as well, with them all on. Oh, also these as well. And that blue kind of matches Sir Nigel Gresley's BR Express blue. Again, the name's not clear, of course, and neither is the front number, or I think it's maybe 44 something. I can pick up 44. And now, of course, National Collection V2 4771 Green Arrow. Next, one which we've seen fairly recently, well, in the back end of last year, 2013. Yep. Time for an East Coast diesel. Deltic. D9014, the Duke of Wellington's regiment. She's running really well. I mean, she had a service not too long ago and is definitely running better. I think it's the Lighting Pullman diner car which is squeaking now. I'll have to check this out. And now down to B12 61572. Just some shots of a running light engine first. As you can see, she's running well. Again, for a model this old, of course, I do call it superb. She's going a little bit slower now. I'd say her lower speed running. She doesn't particularly like it that much, so I don't do it much. But her lower or a bit slower speed running has improved. Well, over the past year really, or past few months. I mean, I can't believe it's just coming up a year now since since I first filmed her running last year. When I first tried her, got her back and running again. Well, to eventually a pretty good running state. Again, whenever I get her out, always run her light engine for a bit first, to make sure she's fully okay for pulling rolling stock, which it looks like she is. She really is good. Again, just a quick look at her. Station rig and a couple some carriages onto her now. Not too many. I mean, I don't want to work. Oops, sorry if you heard that. That was my phone. I don't want to have her motor work too hard because of her age. And again, my dad did say, should be careful because on the older models, the was it the pickup power brushes in there. Got her on 3 Suburban cars now. Again, I better be quick filming this because at this point the camera battery was getting low. In fact, forgot to mention. Getting her running again in the 2013 highlights video. God, I can't believe I forgot that. I should have included that. Getting Dad's B12 61572. Running well again. I really should have mentioned that. I mean, I always do. I knew I'd missed something. Well, just one thing at least. So yeah, I know of course she looks good pulling. Let's say my flying Scotsman antique coaches, but I have filmed her pulling those before, and she looks good with with this small local suburban branch line train. Recreating, let's say, a small local service train in East Anglia during the mid 1960s, like 1963, 64, 65. Okay then, enough chat. Let's see her pulling this train. Of course, she's not only a model, which did have the sort of sandpaper sound system on the wheels, underneath the tender, which is now, of course, completely, just worn away. She also had a decades. Steam generator in there, so the steam coming out and the sound as well, would have been really realistic, especially for back then, back in the 70s.
And now, finally, an East Coast electric. Yeah, I definitely had to include the LNER 225 in this, as of course it is an LNER, East Coast mainline train. And she's running beautifully. And of course that's, well, in a way LNER, just with the L changed to a G. Luckily my voice is sounding better now. Yeah, shot before the, well, between the shots of the B12 and this one, and the 91 225, I had a pretty bad cold and sore throat. Yeah, but again I had one, well, if not one worse, about the same time when I did the GWR special last year. That time of year though, really, you know, it has been going round. I've known a few who haven't been that well, including myself. She's going pretty well in this direction as well. However, we just had quite a bad derailment here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on this curve. This carriage is not in a good mood today. Everyone's okay though in there, just a bit shaken up. Come on 225, this is no time to recreate mainline train accidents. This is a special event, first one of 2014. It's kind of unlucky though, you know, just when she's running beautifully, well, in this direction only, but you know, when she's running beautifully, then starts derailing. She's still superb though. Well, this is the end of the LNER special now, last clip. I hope you've all really enjoyed it. It's been a great start to 2014. It really has been a pleasure doing this one.